everyone, Morgan here. So where do you actually store your food and water? No matter whether you live in an apartment or a house, a mansion, whatever you live in, you can find places to store your food and water appropriately, where they need to be stored. Now, first of all, I just want to say that food should definitely always be stored inside in a controlled environment. Water, however, contrary to popular belief, water can get a little warm and it'll be okay. So as long as it's out of direct sunlight, if you store water like in a shed or something, it's okay. Now, if it gets super cold in your region, frozen water, that's probably not going to be very effective, when you actually really need to use it. So, storing it outside in the winter probably isn't going to be the best idea. But these are all ideas. It just depends on your region, your abilities, your storage space, etc. Here in the South, storing water outside is perfectly fine. Storing it in your garage is perfectly fine, okay? Storing water, that is. Now, food, of course, food should be kept inside in a controlled environment. So now, where do you actually store it? Well, I really like these bins. These are locking lid bins, and they're stackable, so you can actually stack them on top of each other. Now, this one is a little bigger than this one down below. I actually need to switch this one up to be on here for it to actually be, really stackable, but I just haven't done it yet. But anyway, these are really nice because they're easy to move. Now, no, they don't have wheels or anything, but everything is contained in here, like our food storage, So, I think we have 3 weeks worth of food here and 2 weeks here, which I'm slowly building more here. But instead of having everything just like in a pantry, nice and loosey-goosey, you have everything nice and perfectly stored in bins. Now, this isn't our only food bins. We have Mountain House in separate bins, or we have like a few MREs. We have some other food storage in actual other bins, so we can just grab the bins and go. Now, these bins don't have to be stored in your kitchen. We just happen to store in our kitchen. You can store the bins in your closet. Wherever you put your food storage, try to put all the food storage together. If you can put your water and food storage together, that's even more ideal. But if you can't, of course, at least try to keep all the water together, and then at least try to keep all the food together. So at least you know where all your food is, and then you know where all your water is. Now, in saying this also, make sure that you have lists, okay? Make sure that you have comprehensive lists of what's in each of these tubs, okay? So even if you have them stored somewhere, well, what's in these tubs, okay? You don't want to be rifling through them, trying to figure out what's in these tubs. And another suggestion would be to make a menu. So what are you actually going to make from the food in these tubs? Make out a menu, your emergency preparedness menu plan about what you're going to make for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, etc. out of this food, so that you have enough. And but I'm going to be talking about that in another video more extensively. Even if you live in an apartment, we live in a house and we have little tiny closets like this, okay? You can find room, even if it's just a little tiny closet like this, to store some of your food and water, just as long as you keep it in some sort of container or something. If you want to do the food bucket thing, that's cool, you do that, just as long as you keep it in some sort of container so that you can kind of easily grab it and go. Water is harder to try to put in a container for just easy go. We like to have these gallons of waters that actually have the handle so that we can grab multiple pretty easily. Also, we have these little blue containers that are filled with water, and then of course we just have regular bottles of water. But there's lots of ways to store water, but just try to, like I said, try to make sure that it's all in one space. And oh, look, there's my red vines. Depending on how you're going to cook the food or prepare your food or whatever, you want to keep some of that stuff with it. So like plastic forks, paper plates, or collapsible plates and bowls, whatever you want to use, keep that stuff with the food so that that's easily transportable as well as keeping your salts and flours and all these things with your food storage. And then I would say once a year, kind of rotate the food out. And unless it's like Mountain House or something, you don't have to rotate that out, but your normal food storage, rotate that out every year. And since you should be storing food that you're eating, you can just rotate that into your normal everyday food, and then get new food slowly but surely, kind of reamp it up. And again, depending on how you're going to actually cook it, if you have, your grill, of course your grill is just going to stay outside. If you're going to just make fire, of course you're going to make fire outside. If you have gas, you're just going to use your regular gas stove. If you are going to use the propane and as an option, keep the propane and the stove with your food. And I always like to give this warning, please, if you're going to use any sort of propane, like the propane canisters, please use it outside or at least in a well-ventilated area. One of the main reasons I'm such a fan of containers is because, like, look at my pantry here. Like, let's say this was all my food storage. Now I have to maybe move to another section of my house, or maybe I want to take this food to bug out with. I'm having to now completely take this out, find something to put it in, and it's just kind of a mess in here, okay? I have a very small pantry too. So, while I do keep some food storage stuff in our pantry, the majority of it is in the bins. And I probably wouldn't even be worrying about this if I had to kind of grab and go. So it's just something to consider. To wrap this up, you can store your food and water pretty much anywhere, in closets and extra rooms. You could even make like a little table out of your containers of food, okay? So, get creative with where to store. And also just make sure that everything is properly sealed so that you don't get any critters or bugs or anything else like that. So I hope this was helpful about where you can store some of your food and how to store it. These bins I actually got at Costco for $7.99 each. Super great deal. And you can get these at Home Depot or Lowe's or wherever, but I think they're a little more expensive than at Costco. But you can get any sort of storage bins or anything, Walmart, wherever. The storage bins are going to be key to easily access, easily store, and to easily move if necessary. Thank you so much for watching. If you like my videos, please come visit me on Facebook, Instagram, and my website. All links are down below. And if you really like my videos and want to support me, please consider supporting me on Patreon. Again, link down below. Thank you so much for watching. Conquer tomorrow by preparing today. See you later. Bye.